Michael says, if I want to buy a GBP from a vendor, how can I check the age of the GBP? Good question. If it's indexed and verified currently, a lot of the times it'll tell you that in the like small text, in business for 3+ years or in business for 7+ years, things like that. You can see that usually in the search results for the GBP. Otherwise, I don't know how to tell you how to check the age. I don't know. I don't know about the GBP specifically. You could check the age of the website if it had a website, that it was linked to by looking at the Wayback Machine Archive.org. Take a look at the snapshots and see, but that's just not going to tell you when it was connected to the GBP that I'm aware of. So I'm not sure. But just be careful when buying GBPs from vendors, guys. I found that a lot of those just never perform well. I don't know what the last few that I bought haven't performed very well, and it's interesting because when I got the manager access notification from the email because they were transferring ownership of the GBPs that I bought, the name of the GBP in the email was completely different. So I know that the GBP that they sold to me was a GBP that was in a different industry entirely, and somehow they were able to secure it, change the category and the name, and then sell it to me. And so when I asked for them to transfer ownership to me and I got the emails, I thought that the emails that they sent me were for non-related like GBPs, that like they sent me the login manager request access email, the invitation to be a manager of the GBP for somebody else's order. When it come to find out, it really was my GBP. But so on Google's back end, even though the GBP had been updated to a different category and a different name entirely, and it was published to a public facing side of it. Let me just give you an example, guys. I'll just demonstrate this for you. How about that? Here's an example of one of them that I bought recently, well, somewhat recently. And let's see. Let's just say Tree Care HQ Louisville KY. Maybe that's what I have to do. Maybe it got suspended. Anyway, it may have, because that's what I've found is these just typically do not perform well anyway. But I had one that, let's see if we can find it. I'm surprised the brand search didn't make it pop. It may have been suspended, actually. I'll have to check on it. Anyways, Tree Care HQ Louisville was a one that I had bought. And it was, when I got the manager invitation, it was like some nail salon or something. The email said, Tina's Nail Salon is inviting you to be a manager of the GBP. So I replied back, it's like, hey, this is the wrong GBP. Like, please send me the manager access, the right one. No, that was the right one. So it's interesting because even though it was public, on the public facing side, it showed Tree Service and then Tree Care HQ was the brand name. Clearly on the back end, it was a non-related GBP at some point, and it was repurposed and then sold to me. And what I'm trying to get at with those guys is I've found that no matter what I do with those GBPs, I can't get them to rank. So, or sometimes to even appear for a brand search. So it just goes to show you, I'm not trying to look, if you've got a good source of it, and I know other people have found some that work, fine. I'm just saying my experience with them has been shitty. It's almost not worth it, in my opinion, guys. Just because if you end up buying that, you're spending money on it, then you're going to put time and effort into trying to rank it. Trying to get it to perform. And if it never performs, it's a ton of wasted effort. So that's why I've been getting away from all that stuff, guys, and talking about the DHA program. And what my whole process is now is about using organic assets to generate interest from clients in a particular area, or from prospects or business owners in a particular area, that then you can use to either rent or sell them leads, rent those assets, or just use those as an add-on to sell them to benefit their business if they use your traditional retainer-based SEO services. So that's why I call the DHA the directory hybrid agency model, because the hybrid model of being able to monetize both lead gen assets and doing regular traditional retainer-based SEO work for their brand, right? So you go out and build organic assets that you don't have to worry about verification, you don't have to worry about them being suspended, etc. And then you use those to point to when you're prospecting and pitching your services to business owners for those products and services in that specific area. Say, look, I've already gotten results in your area for the same products and services you provide in your local area. I can see that you have a Google business profile that's not performing. Here's my proof that I can get results. If we marry these together, we can get you results and generate leads for your business. Is that something you're interested in? Because now you've got assets that you own and control that you're using to help promote their GBP that is a verifiable, valid business that can be re-verified or reinstated if needed. If you buy a GBP and it gets suspended, you're shit out of luck, and you've lost all the work and the energy and money, resources, et cetera, that you've invested into it. Is that a good business model? No. If you have a source for GBPs that can be like a never-ending supply to replace them, sure, maybe that's a valid business model, or one that could be repeated or duplicated. But I also don't like to spend money and attention and energy, resources on projects that can be taken out, that can be literally wiped out in a moment's notice. Because again, I don't like rework. I hate that shit. I prefer to do like long-term strategies, right? Something that's going to, I put the effort in and it's going to have a return on investment long-term. And so again, that's why I don't recommend buying spam GBPs, guys, just because it's very likely that they're not going to last long, or they're never going to perform well. And then you will have wasted a lot of time and resources trying to get them to perform, when if you had put that same kind of energy into just building organic assets that in lower competition areas that you can rank fairly quickly, and spend your energy and resources instead of on trying to rank a GBP that is likely never going to perform well, spend your energy and attention on prospecting and selling SEO services to business owners with real valid GBPs, because you've pointed to assets that you've produced that are performing well in organic search in their own local area. Right? If you spend the same amount of time and energy on prospecting and selling that you do on trying to rank a spam GBP, you're likely going to generate a lot more revenue, if that's clear. Right? And that's a business model that is sustainable, because you can re-verify or reinstate those GBPs if needed, because they're real valid businesses. But if you don't do anything spammy, well, I'm not going to say that. Google can suspend shit for no reason, arbitrarily. I've seen it happen. So anyway, hopefully that's clear. I'm just trying to encourage you guys to consider what you're doing and what you're spending your time and money on in this business, so that you're not spinning your wheels, right? Like a dog chasing its tail. You're constantly trying to get results, and as soon as you start to get results, you're screwed. Right? More longer term strategy, guys. Think far into the future if possible. If possible.